Today we're going to talk about creating Moodle forums to facilitate online discussions in your DE courses. Moodle forums can be used for a variety of purposes for communicating with your online students. One forum that's built into all of our online courses is the announcements forum. This is only for you as the instructor to be able to send out postings to the entire class. Students will also receive an email whenever you post an announcement to your course. All other Moodle forums allow for student-to-student interactions where they can post and reply to and participate in online discussions to be able to create a sense of community in your online class. To create your own forums within Moodle, first turn editing on. Once editing is turned on, scroll down to the topic where you wish to add your new forum and click on Add an Activity or Resource. You'll see the option for Forum in the list, as well as the option for Forum NG. The two systems are very similar, although Forum NG adds some additional features that you may find interesting if the standard forum doesn't have all of the features you're looking for. For today's purposes, we're just going to stick with the standard forum. Once you have it selected, click Add. Provide a name and a description for your forum to give your students an idea of what its purpose is and what they'll be discussing. Use the forum description to set the boundaries for this discussion. Any expectations you have in terms of what students should be posting, how many replies that they should make, or any comments about grading should all be included here. You'll need to choose what type of forum you wish to use. If you're not certain what forum meets your situations, stick with the default. The standard forum for general use, just like the name suggests, is just a general forum. Students can create their own topic discussions and post and reply as needed in a free environment. For a bit more constraints, you can set the Q&A forum, a question and answer forum, where you pose a prompt and students must reply to your prompt first before they'll see other students' replies. This way it prevents students from simply saying ditto to other students' posts before being able to put their own thoughts forward, even if those thoughts tend to line up with what their classmates are already thinking. You can also have a single simple discussion, which works like an ordinary forum, except that there is only one thread of discussion, and students can only reply to you and to each other within that same thread. Click Save and Display to go directly into your new forum, and take a look at the interface to start posting your discussions. In a standard forum for general use, you and your students will see the option to add a new discussion topic. So you can start threads, your students can start threads. This tends to be a useful format for open discussion, especially when you want them to start their own threads separately, but it can be a little bit difficult to go back through and review for grading purposes. If you're looking to grade this forum based on replies, a single simple discussion or a Q&A forum may be a better format for you. On the contrary, if you're looking to create a space where student teams can collaborate openly on projects, but you're not going to be grading individual replies, a standard forum for general use is usually the best way to go. Adding a new discussion topic and posting a reply use the same interface, and it looks a lot like email. You have a subject line and then your message. The message makes use of the WYSIWYG editor within Moodle, which means that you can add links, you can modify content, you can add images. Again, the same is true for your students, so they may be able to reply to you in a robust and rich text format. You can also attach files, so if what you're looking for is something that you can insert like an image, you can also attach additional files to a particular post. This also allows students who might be collaborating on project work to share files back and forth without having to go through email or through Google Drive. If a particular message is something that's very important that you want to stay at the top of the list even as the discussion gets going, you can always choose the option to have it pinned. This is a little bit like a sticky format that you might see in some other online forums that allows you to make sure that this post always stays at the top. People can still reply to it as normal, but if it's a very important thing about the forum itself or the overall project or other information that you don't want to get lost in the shuffle, pinning the thread may be a very good idea. Lastly, you can set up a display start and end time. If this is ahead of a semester and you want to save yourself some time, say when you have time over the summer, you can actually queue up a number of forum posts to automatically release as the semester goes. If for whatever reason you want them to stop displaying after a certain time, you can actually have the thread disappear after a set date. By default, both of these options are off, but they are available in case you need them. Once you make your post, you'll have a 5-minute window to make any edits to it before the email goes out associated with it. When I say the email associated with it, your students have the option of subscribing to a forum. You have the same option. This allows you to get an email notification anytime a new post to that forum goes out. This is an optional thing, so it starts in the off position, but people can add that if they don't wish to check Moodle each day to see when new posts have come in. You can choose to subscribe to forums on a forum by forum basis, so you might not want to subscribe to the group project forum, but you might want to subscribe to, say, the Unit 1 discussion to see when new replies come in that you might have to grade, without having to check each day to see if new postings are there. Anytime a new post comes in, you'll see the topic, who is responsible for it, the number of replies, and the number of replies that you haven't read since you were last here. This way you can see forum activity at a glance without having to deep dive into each individual thread every time you visit. One of the options you have within forums is to treat them as yet another graded assignment, rating students or using it as a form of attendance in your online courses. This will appear within the thread as an option to rate each individual post. A given student obviously might make more than one post, so you're rating that particular post. But depending on how you set up the grading system for the forum, you may only need to rate one post per student per forum to give them an overall grade for the forum activity as a whole. To configure a particular forum for grading or to change the grading settings, find the gear icon at the top and choose the Edit Settings option. There is a heading for grade, but the one that you actually want is the one right below it, the heading for ratings. Ratings is the forum term that corresponds to the grade for the forum activity. The first and most important thing to add is the aggregate type. Count of ratings means that it will literally count the number of posts that have any rating at all, but will ignore the rating itself. Not terribly helpful in our case. The sum of ratings can be helpful if you have a rubric for your forum that might say the students get 3 points for an original post and 1 point for each reply for a total possible of 5. You can do a sum of ratings to add all of those ratings together. You also do an average of ratings. If a student makes a good post one day and then a few days later makes an okay post, it'll average those ratings for an overall forum grade. This is useful for more in-depth forum discussions where the content of those replies really starts to matter for their grade. And then there's always the maximum rating. If you're using this largely as an attendance feature or just to give credit for students for making a post at all, the maximum rating allows you to simply rate one post per student in that forum, and it will count for their overall grade for the activity. Set the type and the maximum grade itself. This will set the scale in that drop-down menu when you go to rate these posts. You can also restrict ratings to within a certain date range. If there's a cutoff for when students can get credit for a particular forum, you can set it within Moodle itself. That way you don't have to go back and check when a student made a particular post. You can rest assured if it came in after a certain date, the little option to rate that drop-down menu that we saw earlier won't even be on the post if you've configured a cutoff date here in the settings. That's Moodle forums in a nutshell. If you have questions or you run into any trouble setting up or managing your Moodle forums, please contact us at TCO. We're happy to help you in any way that we can.